Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. It is Friday, the 5th day of May. It's Cinco de Mayo. It is African World Heritage Day, World Portuguese Language Day, International Day of the Midwife. So if you're into midwifery, today is your day. National Silence the Shame Day, School Lunch Hero Day, National Astronaut Day, National Hoagie Day, National Chipotle Day, National Cartoonist Day, and National Space Day. So Astronaut Day and Space Day. So it's an out-of-this-world Friday, Heidi.
Wow. Yeah.
And all of that, plus I get to visit with supermodel Kathy Ireland.
Oh.
And Forbes magazine says from supermodel to super mogul. She's been on Forbes magazine cover like 3 or 4 times.
Really?
Yeah. She is quite the businesswoman. And now she's actually working with a group. They already produced it. It's coming out today. It's called Anxious Nation. It's a documentary. Going to chat with her all about that coming up.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. 80% of people remain quiet even when they really want to say something. They do that to avoid an argument when with somebody they care about. Have you ever done that before, Heidi?
Not as often as I should.
I was going to say, Heidi doesn't bite her tongue very often. I do a lot because I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to start this. And how long does it actually take to form a lasting habit? You might have heard somewhere that it takes 21 days. Turns out there's no one timeline to form a habit. Depends on what the task is and who you are. 2 different specific activities that are habit forming. They did a study on this. They found that to form a gym habit took about 6 months.
Yeah.
On the other hand, healthcare workers have an average of just a few weeks to get in the habit of washing their hands more frequently because of their job. So,
Right.
depending on what the habit, it might take longer, and depending on you, it might take longer. So there you go. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know India has become the most populous country in the world? According to UN data, the country now has 1.43 billion people in India. That's about 3 million more than China. Last year, the number of people in China went down for the first time since 1960. In 2016, Beijing ended their strict one-child policy imposed in the 1980s amid overpopulation fears, and they started allowing couples to have 3 children in 2021. Amid a looming demographic decline as birth rates have plunged now, and they're having workforce issues as the workforce is aging out. So,
Yeah.
All right.
There are consequences.
That is crazy stuff. 1.43 billion people, though, in India, which is
Wow.
amazing. It's a lot of people. We don't know everything, but now we know this. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Matthew Perry has vowed to remove his controversial remarks about Keanu Reeves from future editions of his book, Friends, Lovers,
Yeah,
and
what
the Big
was up with
Terrible
that?
Thing.
That was
I don't
so
know.
bizarre.
A lot of people were very upset. He goes,
Well,
okay,
yeah.
I said a stupid thing. It was mean. I apologized publicly, and I'm going to remove it from any moving forward editions of it. Love is Blind fans continue to take Vanessa Lachey to task for how she handled the season 4 reunion. I didn't see anything about it, but apparently it was not great. And Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik are taking on new game show roles, this time as contestants The Jeopardy hosts will be competing against one another on a rival show, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, May 10th.
Oh,
So
fun.
when is that? That is this coming Wednesday, so I have to check that out. And is it the same story? Yeah, there's another story. There's two stories about the same thing. So I've got both of them in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Scientists have discovered a way to completely turn off the brain and all neural activity using light pulses. Well, that's not good, because don't we kind of need our brains? I would think.
I wonder why they're trying to experiment
know.
with that.
But they found a way to turn off your brain using light pulses.
Wow.
So I think sometimes people who watch too much news might be, getting light pulses is what's going on.
Some of the stuff that they're experimenting
there's-
with is terrifying,
I agree.
I think.
And I'm just being silly. I think, when you watch news all day, every day, there are times that you can get very frazzled about things. And then I see people who do that get in arguments and
Yeah.
fights on social
Yeah.
media. I'm like, hey, calm down. Step away from the TV for a minute. And I hate to be the one to break it to you, but new research suggests that French fries may be linked to depression. Ooh. Research team in China found that frequent consumption of fried foods, especially French fries, is linked with a 12% higher risk of anxiety and 7% higher risk of depression than in people who don't eat fried foods. The link was more pronounced among younger consumers. Fried foods are already known risk factors for obesity, also for high blood pressure and other health effects. But these results, quote, open an avenue in the significance of reducing fried food consumption for mental health, end quote.
Huh.
So that is really sad, because I know Heidi is a huge fan of French
My
fries.
favorite food.
That's one of the things. There are some restaurants that I'll go, oh, hey, we should go here. And she's like,
Their fries
no.
aren't any good. Yeah,
And she's
I
like,
base
adamant.
all my restaurants
She's adamant
off
that
of whether
we're
they're fries.
not going there. I'm like, why not? She's like, I don't like their fries.
Their fries are awful.
I'm like, order something else. What? We can't go there ever again? Nope, never again. Okay. And then there was a restaurant we used to go to a lot, and they changed their fries, and Heidi's like, we're done. We're never coming
done.
back. They changed their fries. Scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. I'm excited to visit with Kathy Ireland, who has been described by Forbes magazine as going from supermodel to super mogul. She's also now in the film business, and she's helping with a documentary that comes out today. The documentary is called Anxious Nation, subtitled Our Kids Are in Crisis. And again, Kathy Ireland is the presenter and the executive producer. Kathy, how did you get involved in this project?
Thank you, John. Like countless people everywhere, I've got a passion for young people. I continue to serve on boards of education and have for the past 25 years, mentoring program, national ambassador for the PTA, and am co-founder of a startup pre-K through high school in our community. I've never experienced a more difficult time to be a young person, to be a person of any age. Weekly, I'm getting calls from young people, their families, about these struggles, the anxiety. When I learned about this documentary that Laura Morton, 21 times New York Times bestselling author and Academy Award-winning director Vanessa Roth were putting together Anxious Nation, and when I experienced it, my question was, how can I help? Because this is a film families need to experience. People feel alone in this, and they need to know that anxiety, it is not your identity, and it should not define or destroy you. So we've got to keep that communication open. And this is a great conversation starter.
I agree completely. Now, you had a chance to work with Laura Morton on this project. She was a co-producer and the director and the writer of the documentary Anxious Nation.
Laura is the mother of an anxious child, Sevi, and in her courage, she chronicles, she was like, what am I doing? How do I help my daughter? And in the process, Laura recognized that, oh my goodness, not only were so many people everywhere impacted by anxiety, but good friends of hers, dear friends, and everyone was quiet about this. So Laura and Vanessa, they have spent the last several years interviewing young people suffering with anxiety, their families, people in the medical community, in an effort to really shine a light on this and let families know you are not alone. There is hope, and this does not define you.
Absolutely. And again, the documentary officially comes out today. I had a chance to sneak preview this, and I could relate instantly. Our daughter is in her 20s now, but when she was a teenager, she struggled with anxiety. Maybe not to the extent that some of these other kids do, but this is something that happens to a lot of people.
So what Laura has done is she has interviewed such a diverse group of young people. Anxiety, it's, as you said, John, your daughter dealt with this, but maybe on a different level. It's not a one size fits all, and the audience will recognize themselves in one of these many young people because everyone's situation is different, and so the solutions for them will be different. And anxiety can be used for our good. We have to own it, not let it own us or control us. It does not define us, but just learning how to shepherd that and how to navigate life, despite having anxiety. That it can be something that can be used to our benefit.
Now, anxiety has been around forever, but there are things in society today that make anxiety levels much higher than they were when we were kids.
Oh my goodness, John! The times in which we are living are unprecedented, and COVID, the pandemic, 24/7 news outlets, social media are just some of the many aspects of anxiety that contribute to it. But if anxiety is not dealt with, we know that it can lead to things such as substance use disorder, to suicide. And this is devastating. So we've got to face this. We've got to pull the covers off our face and deal with it. Life is hard. We're living in times of overwhelming amounts of information. And it's understandable to want to escape, yet we've got to face this. And Anxious Nation presents this in such a powerful way.
Kathy, thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you sharing this information with your audience. Thank you.
Again, the program is called Anxious Nation. It's out today. I've got a link to the trailer and all the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If you're a guy, you have a 1 in 3 chance of going bald by the time you're 30. By age 50, your odds increase to 1 in 2.
1 in 3.
So, yeah, 1 in 3 by the age 30 and 1 in 2 by age 50. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The country Brazil is named after the Brazil nut, not the other way around.
Okay, I've never thought about it, but okay, that's interesting.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Running amok is a medically recognized mental condition.
Really?
Every once in a while, I will run amok. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There's more money loaded on Starbucks cards and the Starbucks mobile app than some banks have in deposits.
Yeah,
Never really thought about that. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to studies, men change their minds 2 to 3 times more often than women.
Isn't that an interesting study?
I agree with that, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't agree with that. So. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Blue whales eat 500,000 calories in one mouthful.
Wow.
500,000. Yeah, that takes me like 5 mouthfuls. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. 39% of us admit that we have lied to a friend to avoid this. What is it?
I have no idea.
Helping them move.
Yeah.
I could see why somebody would do that, though. That is a big ask.
That's a huge
And
ask.
we've done more than our fair share of helping people move. And I used to have like a big truck, it was like a moving truck, and then I'd get asked, hey, what are you doing? Want to help me move? Like, I got to get rid of this truck. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A German court said that a landlord sunbathing naked in the courtyard of his building was not a reason for his tenants to reduce their rental payments. The case involved a building in an upmarket district of Frankfurt, which included an office floor rented by a human resource company. The company withheld rent because it objected to the landlord's nude sunbathing. In response, the landlord sued. The court rejected the company's reasoning, finding that the usability of the rented property was not impaired by the plaintiff sunning himself naked in the courtyard. In a statement, it said that it couldn't see an inadmissible, deliberate, improper effect on the property, end quote. So they're like, hey.
I mean, I can see if you're a business, you probably might not want that going on, but you still got to pay your rent.
It makes you wonder if that was like he was right out their windows.
Yeah,
or, I don't know.
that's
I have no idea.
Bizarre.
It is bizarre. That's why it's today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Uber released their list of the annual items left by riders that are unusual, some very unusual. Things like this. The most unique item was a Danny DeVito Christmas ornament. Oh, I kind of like one of those now. Other notables were a toy poodle, a fog machine, an ankle monitor, 16 ounces of fake blood, a printer, a remote control vibrator, and a pin of Jesus holding a slice of pizza.
Wow.
A few more, a Statue of Liberty, green foam crown, a lightsaber, hamsters, 2 painted rat traps, a power of attorney document issued by the Turkish consulate, pet turtles, a slab of bluefin tuna, a slushy machine, and a fake tooth. Oh, by the way, the top 10 most forgotten items in order: clothing, phones, backpacks, purses, headphones, jewelry, keys, books, laptops, and watches. There's a lot of bizarre things on that first part of the list. Weird news. No, it's not weird news. It's the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap, cheap, cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Now, your quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Quote today is from Albert Einstein. Smart fella right there. He says, men marry women with the hope they will never change. Women marry men with the hope they will change.
Yep.
Invariably, they are both disappointed.
Yes.
Smart guy. I would listen to his advice. When we got married, were you marrying me hoping that I would change?
No, not at the time. There are some things that I wouldn't mind changing.
Well, let's make a list. We'll compare notes. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Listen to this headline. U.S. cigarette smoking rate hits a new all-time low. Cigarette smoking has dropped to an all-time low, according to a government survey that was just recently released. Last year, 2022, National Center for Health Statistics surveyed 27,000 adults 18 and over, and they asked them questions about their health. Only 1 in 9 said they were current smokers, so that's 11.2%. At one point, it was much, much higher.
That is fantastic news.
So it was 42% in the 1960s. It was 35% between 2001 and 2003. The rate has gradually dropped for decades, reaching an all-time low in 2022. E-cigarettes have rose about 6% from about 4.5% the year before, too. So there's more than that. Only 2% of high school students were smoking traditional cigarettes last year, but about 14% were using e-cigarettes. And there's, health impacts to all of that stuff. I'm not going to get preachy and tell you what to do, but if you'd like to know more, I guarantee you there's information on the old interweb. And that is something that, again, when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I remember there were a lot of kids that I went to school with that smoked, and a lot of people don't do that now. So it's changed a lot, even in our little short history that we've been around.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's wonderful.
It is. And back in the day, every movie would have people smoking.
Oh, yeah,
Very
you hardly
rarely do you
ever
see that now.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'll watch like movies from the 80s or even like some classic movies, and like everybody was smoking.
Yeah.
Like there's kids in the background smoking. But it's a lot different. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. I know there's a lot of options out there. We appreciate you choosing us. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.